What's going on, fellow humans and resellers? It's his I, James, readoptionagency.com, 22 years selling full-time on eBay. And we are at 2:40 p.m. So I did a little pulling. Going to do a little midday shipping. And topic. Yes, I still believe eBay's costing me $200 a day with all the problems and issues. So we're going to talk about that a little bit since I haven't talked about it in a while, and I'm going to talk about why I don't really talk about it anymore. So let's get to moving. First up on the news store, got one item sold so far. It's this Simply Vera Wang blouse. Sold for $10.50. I'm going to save that though, just in case I have another item sell. Then I can do a printout of the scan form, since you can't do it on onesies. So we'll wait on that. So we're going to go to the big store. So we're at $240 right now. I'm at $396. So doing all right there. 20 items sold, 11 organic, 9 promoted. And that kind of leads me into what I'm talking about. Like yesterday, all day yesterday, I only did 10 promoted sales. 42 organic, 10 promoted. Since I've started this new method with the free shipping on media, I've done 20 to 30 promoted items per day. So to only have 10 when I've got so many items promoted, it made me feel like my items were hidden for some reason. Whether it was just not there or it was pushed farther back into the search, whatever the case may be, I felt like my items were hidden. Something was off. That was not a normal day. And the fact that I've still got over 1,000 of my items that are not accounted for. Where are those items? They're not accounted for in my store, in my search. Where are they? If they're not there, chances are they're not showing up on eBay either. So over 1,000 of my items are just gone in the wind. Will they ever come back? I don't know. This number being off has been a problem for, we're what, over 6 months now? And it still hasn't been fixed. The last time I called it in was a month ago. Prior to that was about 3 or 4 months prior to that. And even a month ago, it was still an open ticket problem. So here we are, still going on with that problem. So do I think eBay's still hiding things? Yes. As we've talked about before, there's plenty of reasons why now when it comes to geographical location, and then depending on the health of your account. But I believe it goes beyond that because there are clearly lots of bugs and problems within that search. I mean, we've talked about and I've demonstrated some of the whacked out search results that you get and how they're never consistent, even for the person in the same spot, not traveling from one coast to another, and how screwed up the search is. So all those bugs, problems, they are affecting people's sales 100%. There's no doubt in my mind that sales are still being suppressed, hurt. You know, people are still feeling the pain of these eBay bugs, problems, issues. And I still believe they're bugs and problems. They're not the new way eBay is going to be, because nobody in their right mind would look at eBay search and say, that's the way we want it. Nobody in their right mind. When you can find stuff easier on Google than you can on eBay, who in their right mind would think that's okay within the eBay realm? I would think nobody. I would hope nobody. So I don't think that it's the final thing. I think they're just still dealing with a lot of server problems, because still, even today, I've gotten 3 disconnect terminations or connection termination or whatever it's called, the white pages with the little print at the top. People are still getting the it's you, it's not us. So there's still server problems too. So depending on where your items are, where they're stored, what server they are, there's a chance they're not showing up there because of those issues. And those issues are up and down all day, every day, it appears. So yes, 100% eBay's still causing people to have problems selling on eBay. And I still feel like I am under where I should be, up by far. I was doing these numbers when I had 25,000 items. Now I've got supposedly 58,000, even though it doesn't show that. And I'm doing those numbers. So yes, eBay is still hugely hurting themselves. And I still feel they're costing themselves millions of dollars a year. And they're costing me, I believe, in my estimation from doing this 22 years, that they're costing me about $200 a day and have been for about 2 years now. And until somebody proves me wrong on that point, I've got years and years of paperwork to show you that, to back up my point and why I believe so. So, yes, I still believe that it's a problem. Why do I not talk about it and address it anymore? But James, when you talk about that stuff, your videos get lots of views. Yay! More money on YouTube. I'm not a YouTuber. I'm an eBayer, first and foremost. My money's made on eBay. I'm not though that's for the YouTubers first who worry about what the content is, having the perfect thumbnail, having the perfect title. That's for YouTubers who are YouTubers over eBayers. I'm an eBay over YouTuber. My money is made over here. So after not just addressing it, as you know, I've tried 1,000,001 things to change things up. Started cross-posting, using Vendoo. Now I got a second store and putting just clothes in it. So, and then all the tweaks and stuff we've made, you've came along with me, most of you, when I've done the whole figure out the best promotion rate. I mean, I went through a hell of a lot of different tests trying to change the outcome. So the one thing that it was doing was causing me to slow down, causing me not to keep going, to not put in the work, because my mind was just so inundated with all this stuff. Pee-wee. With all the stuff, that's where my mind was at. It wasn't concentrating on get more stuff listed. It wasn't concentrating on anything other than trying to figure it out. The one thing that thinking about the bad on eBay does to you is it suppresses your work habit. So that is the reason as I've said, I just stopped talking about it because it wasn't doing me any good anymore. I'd done everything I felt I could to try to figure it out and or change it, and nothing really worked. So the only other change that I had to make now is just get back into that listing mode where all I do and care about is list, because if and when I still believe it's going to come back, when it does come back, I want to be in a position where I'm doing $1,500 a day by now. All right, baby. So that's what I'm looking forward to and hoping for the future. Will it ever happen? I don't know. It's hard to say. We've gone this long with everything being so screwed up, and it doesn't feel like it feels like a little bit has changed. I've said that before. It feels like there's a little bit that has changed. But for the basic search, I don't feel that's changed. So maybe that's the new way it's going to be, which would blow my mind and not totally make any sense from a business standpoint, from my view anyway. they always, I've always been, if you're going to complain about something, instead of, after you're done complaining about it, do something about it to change it. Well, I did everything that I felt I could to change it. Tried so many different things. If you're new to my videos, go back and watch my videos. I've done everything under the sun to try to get different outcomes. And the last one was opening, and actually that was kind of afterwards, just opening a separate store. That was my last wit's end thing to do. Let's open a second store and see what that does, see how that reacts. And who wants to be in a bad mood all day, every day, right? Thinking about the problems on this website will put you in a bad mood every day, all day, without a doubt. But since I felt I done everything I could, then guess what? There's no point in me complaining about it anymore, because at this point, I'm not doing anything. So why complain if I'm not doing anything? So from here on out, from there on out, but it's just list. Let's keep building, and hopefully one day it will be fixed properly, and or somebody will come in charge of eBay, hopefully in the near future, and say, hey, and we'll actually listen to actual sellers as to what the problems are, and be more open and honest with people about the problems and what they're doing to try to fix them. Because as we know, with the rep team, they're kept in the, like I said many times, they're kept in the dark just as much as we are. And it seems like all the reps now are all brand new people who know the bare minimum, as opposed to those who were there for a long time and who really put in a lot of time and work and saw the things that some sellers see. Where the new crowd just seems like, yeah, if they sell on eBay, it's probably one or two items, and they may get on eBay once a day just to see if anything's sold. And then their base is, their whole job is to be the front line. Everything stops with them. Nothing gets past them. Nothing from behind them gets to them. It's just a wall. So when you've reached your point of complaining to where there's nothing else you can do, if you keep complaining, it's just going to make you miserable, even worse than it was before trying to figure it out. So there was just no point in it. No point whatsoever. Just keep going. So that's why to clear things up, that's just why I stopped talking about it. Not because I don't believe they're not there anymore, but if you watch my channel, you know I have done everything that I could think of and what you guys suggested, just to try to get some different outcome. And to this day, you can still find stuff on Google that will not show up on eBay. Even if you copy the exact title and put it on eBay, there's still things that will not show up on eBay for whatever cuckoo reason, nonsensical reasoning. And if you think about it too much, you will drive yourself Looney Tunes. Like I said, I'm putting my hope into the people who will not speak to any of us, the upper echelon of eBay, that they know these problems exist and they are working on fixing them. Because if they think the search is okay, is the way it should be, they're not going to have a job for very much longer. That's all I got to say, because the word's out there and there's still people to this day talking and complaining about it. So, I just went on the message board and saw a bunch of stuff, and I had to comment. I'm like, yeah, and I gave them my lowdown of what I've been saying for over a year now. And then that put me in that headspace going, you know what? I haven't talked about it in a while. Let's talk about it and address why I don't talk about it anymore. It's not doing me any good anymore, because it's not creating new ideas to try, because I've tried them all. So I had to step away from it. And you can only change what you can change. And I've changed everything I could to try to get a different result. And the last change there is double my listings. Let's get more stuff up. Let's keep going. That's the last change on my list. So that's it. All right. Let's get to shipping. See what's sold. But yes. I'm still, if I think about it, I am still definitely 100% not happy with eBay and the way that the situation is. I'm still at the point, if somebody today said, hey, should I start selling on eBay? Before, 2 years ago, plus, the first 20 years, yeah, do it. I mean, now I can't, like right now, I click to take an offer and won't even go. And that's not, finally, it's not my connection. My connection's fine. I've got 2 different freaking connections now, so just in case one goes down. But if somebody asked me today, my first question would be, well, what do you sell? Is it clothes? You might want to try Poshmark first. I still believe you're going to sell more on eBay than any other platform. Yes, 100%. But I would tell people to diversify, not just to think that selling on eBay is going to be what it used to be. Start with something like Vindu and put them on all the sites. And learn about all the different avenues of reselling. So because it's not a pretty eBay world anymore. First up, we've got Dog Mom shirt. That sold for $10.50, headed to Delaware. Now, like I said, being that I'm not complaining about it anymore, I try to keep my mindset positive about it. And how the things I think about, I don't think about what I can't control. I think about the things I can control. I can control how much I put up. I can control what I put up. I can control where I put it up. What website. Mary. I can hope and think that the people who are running eBay are smarter than I am and that they see the problems too. All right, we only got one international going to Germany. Because, I mean, I barely made it through high school and I look at this search and I go, you can't be happy with this search. If I am not happy with this search, how could anybody be happy with this search? Because if eBay was happy, please tell me why you're happy with this search, because I'll give you 100 reasons why you shouldn't be happy with it. And show you how much money it's costing people. We got this Echoes of Egypt CD, sold for $10, headed to Oregon. And the thing about me and the way my head works is this. if I am thinking negatively or miserable, it's going to stunt me. It's going to stunt my growth, stunt my happiness, stunt my creativity. Why? There's just something on the back of my leg. I've been itching all day. A little bump. We got this mustache hat. Sold for $10.50, headed to Iowa. So since I changed my way of thinking, sure, my videos don't get as many views anymore because I'm not complaining. We know that complaining about eBay gets you a hell of a lot more views than not complaining about eBay. But would I have come up with this card idea in that mindset? No, because my mind wasn't traveling anywhere else. It wasn't being creative. It was stuck in the website. Running a business, I shouldn't have to worry about their business, right? I need to worry about my business, not theirs. So worrying about theirs was not helping mine. I was only allowing it to hurt mine. Next up, we got this women's shirt, Crown and Ivory. Sold for $7, headed to Springfield, Tennessee. And again, I'm holding out hope that they are worrying about their business. That they are worrying about the problems they have. And because of them having problems, they've created problems for my business. So, what can I do to help out my business? Cross list. Opened a second store to try that. Came up with a creative idea. Came up with my first creative idea that actually worked beyond selling on eBay 22 years ago. Got this Madam Fate CD-ROM game, sold for $4.20. Headed to Georgia. Georgia. So yeah, it wasn't doing me any good. It was not doing me 1 ounce of good after I was done experimenting. After I tried everything I possibly could think of to get different results. That's why even I caught myself, was it today? Today or yesterday? Just because the search is so messed up, I started thinking, how can I reword this? Or, I stopped using the and sign because if you put in the and sign, you put in quotes or anything like that, it totally screws everything up. So, I'm not going back through 50,000 plus items to get rid of my and signs or any other things. But so I'm thinking, well, what else? Because if you type too much in, your item won't come up. We've seen the variations of different things. Like if you type in a name brand blue shirt, sometimes it'll bring up every brand of a blue shirt, right? Then there's things like, I'm trying to think the example I was doing today when I was comping something I was listing. And if I put in one too many words, it didn't bring the actual thing up. And for every word you eliminated, it brought up more of the item you were looking for. And I'm like, that actually matched all the words. But just because they weren't in the title, I mean, it's mind-blowing how screwed up it is. So I caught myself thinking about what I'm typing in the title. I'm like, no, don't think about it. Just put whatever in. Because, yeah, thinking about it will drive you mad. We got this women's sun hat. Sold for $7.50, headed to Frisco, Texas. It was like, I think it was Saturday, because I stopped by the thrift store also. And then when I went to look something up on Google, I Google in something and found it. So then when I went to eBay to look for it, the one that I saw was not on eBay. It was not showing up on the eBay search. Even though I took a few of the words from the title and typed it in, it still would not show that item. So I just do hope that, that they don't look at their search and think that it's the way it should be. Oh, did I forget that one? Nope. Just don't remember pulling it. Kiss, Smashes, Thrashes, and Hits. Sold for $7, headed to Colorado. So, yeah. Wasn't doing me any good anymore. 6, 9, 1. Twist. Going to twist and shout, whatever that is. Maybe it's a dance club or a bar or something. Next up, we got Traveling Wilburys cassette. Sold for $6.50, headed to Alabama. Yeah, I'm just under the hope that it'll work proper soon. Because, you know, there was a bit of a change where I mentioned that something had changed, and a little bit for the better. I wasn't having, 17 items sell anymore, where there was days where I was only having 17 or 20 items sell. When that stopped happening, it felt like a change. Which would led me to believe that they're still doing changes. Hence my hope that it's not fixed, that they know it's not fixed. Nitty Gritty Dirt Band, Uncle Charlie. On vinyl, sold for $7, headed to Crown Point, Indiana. So that's why I still have hope. Nicole. Ecstasy CD. Sold for $7, headed to Largo, Florida. That should probably go up. only complain for so long until you have to start looking at yourself going, what's wrong with me? I'm still complaining, yet I'm still doing the same thing over and over again, right? If you're not trying different things, you're not doing anything, so it's insanity. Thinking something's going to change. Yeah, whatever the quote is. Lord's welcome reminiscing. So for $7, headed to Wheaton, Illinois. Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. That's what complaining and not doing things and experimenting and trying things, that's where it leads you, to insanity. And that's where it was taking me. Felix. Muddy Waters. CD2 from a box set. Sold for $7, headed to Albuquerque, New Mexico. Steven. I don't want to go crazy no more. Ash CD sealed, sold for $7, headed to Huntington, New York. I don't want to go crazy no more. No more. Oh, on another note, I got my planks up to 1 minute 30 seconds now. Woohoo! Sarah. So day 3, 1 minute 30. I want to get to 2 minutes several times a day. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times a day. And then another offer. And then I'll try like variations. I saw people where they do it on their side and lift a leg or whatever. I just got to make sure it's not going to be nothing to affect my back. So just got to make sure I make wise choices when I try some of the other ways of doing it. Next up, we've got some Jordans. Some Jordan 3. That new shoe smell. Sold for $126. Headed to the Authenticity place. Authenticity. Prep this box. I see you coming off. Insanity. Insane in the membrane. Insane in the brain. Insane in the membrane. Insane in the brain. SK. That's gonna be a FedEx label. Right. Next up, we've got Ohio Buckeyes hat. Sold for $10.50, headed to Ohio. Go figure. Doing those planks though, I already feel like my whole midsection feels tighter just because working those muscles. And I feel like I'm standing straighter. Like I feel taller. Next up, we've got this cool vintage Mickey Mouse shirt. I love finding Mickey Mouse that's not on Disney labels because then you know it's old. You just got to make sure it's old and that it's real. But this one's got the tag is Topic Trogs t-shirt. But there's a lot of information out there on Disney where I believe I typed in Tropic Togs and it said I found that Disney one time allowed them to do it or whatever. So there's a lot of information out there if you find Disney without older Disney stuff. And it's got the trademark too on it. So the shirt's not in good condition. Sold once and then got returned. And then I just took an offer on it for $15 to move it this time. First time it sold for like $40, I think. But it's been in the store for a while now for the second time. $15 headed to Oregon. Jason. Next up, Board of Probation hat. Sold for $8. Headed to Lynn Haven, Florida. Tonight I need to make sure I'm all caught up before I go to bed, so I got very little to ship tomorrow, so I can go look for some yard sales. Frank. Yard sales. Next up, we got Keith Sweat on cassette. Sold for $7, headed to Palm Springs, Florida. Sharon. And we've got the audiobook. Sold for $40, headed to Dayton Beach, Florida. A lot of Floridas, huh? That should play fine. Usually disc one is always the worst one. Yeah, those should play fine. Get in there. Oh, 11. Mark. And lastly, we got Shawshank Redemption DVD. Sold for $7, headed to Maryland. Looks like I had several sales coming through while I was making this video, so that's good. Spinning wheel of death. Punch labels. I think there's like a new broadband or fiber company in our area now. I think they put in the other day, I think it's I3 or something. And then AT&T finally ran the fiber down the street. They're doing that yesterday and today, but I already got it pulled off of the street over. They did that for me. And then Spectrum's going down tonight to upgrade their system, so I guess everybody's competing around here now. But I've got, right now, I still got AT&T and Spectrum both. Figure with the boys gaming and stuff. They game on one, I work on the other, so. Since the companies like putting slowdowns at certain times and stuff like that. When they get home after 5 and there's a slowdown already and then they want a game and they're like, nah. We'll just have 2. Back it. Alright, this is the shoes. I'll have Alex take that to work. He works at Walgreens, so he can drop that off with them. I accidentally put that in the wrong stack. Good thing I caught that. I would have had another boo-boo. I don't like making boo-boos. Making boo-boos don't make me happy. Phoebe. That's his name. That's his name. What's ABI? Abby? Abby? Stefan. Stefan. Oh. All right. International, say for Adrian. Just a hat. All right, so we were at 420. Right now we're at 330. I'm at 444. Cool. Should make my 5x5 today. All right. Thanks everybody for hanging out, and I will see you all in the next video. Later.